What if I told you that everything you've been taught about discipline is a lie? We've been trained to see it as a punishment, a cage, a word that feels like sacrifice, like giving things up, like a drill sergeant in your head screaming at you to wake up earlier and take colder showers. But what if that's all wrong? Will Smith has a revolutionary idea that flips this entire concept on its head. It's a philosophy so powerful, it turns every hard choice, every moment you want to quit, into an act of self-love, not self-punishment. He said it best. I believe that self-discipline is the definition of self-love. In this video, we're not just going to talk about that idea. We're going to break it down. We're going to dismantle the painful link between discipline and punishment and rebuild it into the ultimate tool for your personal freedom. This isn't just another motivational speech. This is your guide to rewiring your mind. This is the ultimate guide to Will Smith's code of self-discipline. The problem: the war in your head. Let's be real. The toughest war you'll ever fight isn't out there. It's not against your boss, your competition, or the world. The hardest war is the one inside your own mind. It's that 3 p.m. battle between the salad you know you should eat and the sugary snack that's screaming your name. It's that 10 p.m. negotiation with yourself to just go to bed instead of scrolling for one more hour. It's the weekend debate between hitting the gym or hitting the snooze button for the 5th time. Every single day, we're faced with these little choices. And as Will Smith points out, we are constantly, actively choosing things that are not in our own best interest. We choose the quick hit of dopamine over the long-term feeling of pride. We choose the easy comfort of procrastination over the deep satisfaction of getting it done. This is the universal human struggle. We know what we should do, but that pull of instant gratification is a powerful current, and it's exhausting trying to swim against it. This war in our heads creates this nasty cycle of guilt and regret. You eat the junk food and feel terrible after. You skip the workout and feel sluggish and disappointed. You put off the big project, and the stress just builds and builds, casting a shadow over everything. Will Smith frames the absurdity of this perfectly. If the world is already trying to hold you down, why would you help it? Why would you kick yourself when you're down? Why would you become the #1 enemy of your own dreams? That's the core of the problem. We treat our future self like a stranger. We steal happiness from the person we'll be tomorrow, just to get a quick moment of pleasure today. We see discipline as the enemy, the fun killer. But that perspective is the very thing keeping us trapped on a hamster wheel of temporary highs and crushing lows, always chasing a feeling of satisfaction that never lasts. The first step to getting free is to see the pattern. It's admitting there's a war going on inside, and understanding that the way we've been fighting it by seeing discipline as punishment is exactly why we keep losing. The turning point, the great reframe. This is where everything changes. This is the moment you stop fighting yourself and start loving yourself. Will Smith's entire philosophy comes down to one radical reframe. The word discipline has kind of gotten a bad name. We think about it in terms of punishment. I'm talking about discipline in the sense that you forego immediate pleasure in exchange for long-term self-respect. This isn't just a clever phrase, it's a fundamental shift in how you see yourself. When you truly love someone, you protect them. You make decisions that are good for them, even if they don't like it in the moment. You wouldn't let a child you love eat candy for every single meal, no matter how much they begged. You wouldn't let a friend you care about spiral into self-destruction without stepping in. Smith says we have to apply that same logic to ourselves. If you say you love yourself, your actions have to back that up. He gives the perfect example. Imagine you're staring at a pizza. You want it. The craving is real. The old punishment mindset says, don't you dare eat that. You're weak if you do. You'll regret it. It's a voice of shame. But the self-love mindset speaks a totally different language. It says, hey man, I know you want that pizza, but I can't let you eat that because if you do, You're going to feel like crap later, and I love you too much to let you do that to yourself. See the difference? The action is the same. You don't eat the pizza, but the motivation is completely transformed. One comes from a place of self-hate, the other from a place of deep self-care. The choice is no longer about what you're giving up. It's about what you're protecting. This applies everywhere. It's Saturday night. Your friends are going out, but you have a huge exam on Monday. The punishment mindset says, I have to stay home and study. This sucks. The self-love mindset says, I know you want to go out, but if you fail that test, your self-esteem is going to take a hit. And I just love you too much to let you go out tonight. It's about becoming your own guardian. It's recognizing you have a connection with someone who is off limits and telling yourself, nope. I know there's a vibe there, but I love myself too much to let me compromise my integrity like that. In every case, discipline becomes an act of honoring your future self. It's the bridge between who you are now and who you want to be, built on a foundation of self-respect. Discipline isn't what you give up, it's what you gain. You trade a moment of pleasure for a lifetime of self-respect. And as Smith says, the road to sustained happiness is paved with this kind of behavior. The how-to: building the muscle of self-love. Okay, the philosophy is great, but how do you actually do it? How do you go from knowing you should love yourself to acting like it, day in and day out? The answer lies in one of Will Smith's most powerful analogies. You build a wall, one brick at a time. He tells this story about his dad tearing down a brick wall in front of his shop and telling him and his brother to rebuild it. The task seemed impossible. They looked at this massive empty space and felt totally defeated before they even started. And that's how most of us feel when we look at our big goals: losing 50 pounds, writing a book, starting a business. The goal is the wall, and it's so huge that we get paralyzed. But his father gave them the secret. He said, stop thinking about the damn wall. There is no wall. There are only bricks. Your job is to lay this brick as perfectly as a brick can be laid, then move on to the next brick. This is the practical application of self-discipline as self-love. You don't set out to build the biggest, baddest, greatest wall ever. You focus on the one small action in front of you. You say, I'm going to lay this one brick, and for the next 10 minutes, there will not be a better laid brick on the face of the earth. You do that every single day, and soon enough, you look up and you have a wall. That mindset demolishes procrastination. The goal isn't write a novel anymore. The goal is write one perfect sentence, then another. The goal isn't get in the best shape of my life. It's do one perfect push-up, then another. It's not build $1 million business. It's make one perfect sales call, then another. Each brick is a small act of self-love. Each perfectly laid brick proves to yourself that you're capable. It builds momentum. That wall isn't just concrete. It's a monument to your own consistency, a physical symbol of your self-respect. Your only job is one brick. This is also how you separate talent from skill. Talent is what you're born with. Skill is only developed by hours and hours of beating on your craft. Skill is the wall you build, one brick at a time, whether you feel like it or not. The world is full of talented people who never built anything because they were too intimidated by the size of their wall. The world is run by people who just kept showing up and laying one perfect brick at a time. They understood that success isn't one big event. It's the sum of thousands of tiny, disciplined choices. So, what's your brick today? What is the one small, perfect action you can take right now that honors the person you want to become? Don't worry about the wall. Just lay the brick. Overcoming obstacles. Learn to love the fight. Look, let's be real. This path is not a straight line. There will be days the bricks feel too heavy. There will be moments the old habits are screaming for your attention. You will have setbacks. You will fail. That's not a maybe. It's a guarantee. And that's where most people quit. But Will Smith teaches us to see failure differently, not as a stop sign, but as a compass. His motto: fail early, fail often, fail forward. Failure is an essential part of success. It's not the enemy. It's the price you pay for getting better. Think about it. When you go to the gym, you are actively looking for failure. You lift a weight until your muscles literally cannot do it again. That point of failure is where growth happens. If you only lift what's comfortable, you will never get stronger. The exact same thing is true for your mind and your character. You have to live at the edge of your abilities, in that space where you might just fail. This is how you build real self-respect, by doing hard things. You don't get a surge of pride from easy wins. Smith uses the example of racing a bunch of 3-year-olds. If you win, you don't feel good about yourself. Why? You were supposed to win. But what if you raced against Usain Bolt? You'd lose, badly. Yet the act of showing up, of daring to compete against the best, even when you know you'll lose, that's what builds real self-love. You feel great because you did the hard thing. If you only let yourself feel pride from guaranteed wins, you will play small your whole life. You'll never find out what you're truly capable of. This fear of failure is a lie. As Smith says, fear is not real. It is a product of thoughts you create. Danger is very real, but fear is a choice. The danger on a treadmill is real, you could trip, but the fear of being outworked, that's a choice. This is where his legendary treadmill mindset comes from. I'm not afraid to die on a treadmill. I will not be outworked. It's not about being arrogant. It's a commitment to push past comfort, past failure, and into the territory where real growth lives. So when you fail, and you get a choice. You can let it define you and believe you are a failure, or you can see it as data, the climax, winning the war against your mind. So it all comes down to this: the reframe, the bricks, the failures. It all leads to the final battleground, your own mind. Will Smith is crystal clear on this. Self-discipline is the center of all material success. You cannot win the war against the world if you can't win the war against your own mind. Before you can conquer anything out there, you have to achieve command in here. For too long, we've been taught to look for our value outside of ourselves, from other people's approval, from likes, from validation. Smith compares this to looking at yourself in a broken mirror. The reflection is all wrong, distorted, and ugly. What sane person would then try to change their actual face to look good in that broken reflection? Yet, that is exactly what we do when we let other people's opinions and moods decide how we feel about ourselves. This is why self-discipline as self-love is so powerful. It brings your self-esteem back inside. Your happiness becomes your responsibility, and yours alone. It's not your partner's job to make you happy. It's not your boss's job. As Smith said, you can make a person smile. You can make a person laugh. But whether or not a person is happy is deeply and totally and utterly out of your control. You have to take the job of making yourself happy, and the main tool for that job is discipline. Winning the war in your mind means you become the only judge of your own worth. It's looking at a mountain of work and focusing on the single brick. It's feeling temptation and choosing the action that serves your future self. It's facing a setback and choosing to find the lesson instead of the loss. It's hearing all the noise from the world, the criticism, the doubt, and choosing to listen to the quiet, steady voice of your own commitment. This is true power. You realize that while you can't control what happens to you, you have absolute control over how you respond. And you have to understand the difference between fault and responsibility. It might not be your fault that something in your life is broken, but it is damn sure your responsibility to fix it. As long as you're pointing fingers, you're a victim. The road to power is paved with responsibility. When you discipline your mind, you're telling yourself, My peace is more important than this argument. My health is more important than this craving. My future is more important than this moment of comfort. You become the guardian of your own fire. You are no longer a passenger in your own life. You are the driver, with your hands on the wheel, navigating with purpose and with love. If you're ready to stop seeing discipline as a punishment and start practicing it as the ultimate act of self-love, then join our community by subscribing to this channel for more content that can change your life. Like this video to help spread the message, and let us know in the comments, what is the one brick you are going to lay perfectly today? In the end, this isn't about becoming some joyless robot. It's the exact opposite. It's the path to real, lasting freedom. The freedom that comes from knowing you are in control of your own mind and your own destiny. The freedom that comes from the deep, unshakable self-respect you build every single time you choose what you want most over what you want now. Will Smith's philosophy is a key that can unlock you from the prison of short-term thinking. It teaches us that every choice is a message we send to ourselves. With every healthy meal, every finished task, every honest word, every time you push through discomfort, you are saying, I love you. I believe in you. You are worth the effort. The road to sustained happiness is paved with disciplined behavior. It's a daily practice, a moment-by-moment commitment. It is the simple, profound act of laying one perfect brick again and again until you have built a life that you are truly proud of. A life built not on sacrifice, but on love.